Good afternoon and welcome to Digital Natives, Content Creation's Frontline, where we ask media pioneers how to successfully build community, produce, and write in a multi-platform world. Just a reminder, you can join us on the live chat stream on our YouTube live chat stream right now and ask us questions there. We have a live chat host today joining us, Miss Katie Stegman. Good afternoon, Katie.
Hi everyone. Leave me your questions or comments on our Twitter handle at DigNativeSeries or on our YouTube page, and I will ask Kim and Greg any of your questions.
That's right. Speaking of Kim and Greg, we are joined today by the big YouTube prankster and founder of Mediocre Films, Mr. Greg Benson, as well as the actress and producer, Miss Kim Evie. Both have been playing in the digital space since 2006, and they are some of the original digital Illuminati, and we are thrilled to have them in-house today. Good afternoon, Kim and Greg.
Good afternoon.
Oh, hello. Nice to see you, Brian.
Thank you so much for joining us here today on Digital Natives.
You're welcome.
Excellent, excellent. So let's get right to it. First off, what were you two doing before you got into online video?
I think we had gone out for a steak dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to Outback.
Yeah, Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah.
We had one of those big, awesome blossoms or whatever they call them.
Okay, great.
There's a lot of fat in those things.
Okay, great. But before you went for the steak dinner, was there anything else? Were you working in the entertainment community in any other regard?
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Yes. Yes, we were.
Yes, we were. We were both actors.
You were both actors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it. Excellent, excellent.
Yep.
So, both of you got into digital video in 2006, and how did you come into the digital video space?
You want to do a funny
Sure.
answer?
No, I'll do the actual answer. I think we start off with one funny answer, then we just do the normal, boring stuff. So let's get on to that stuff. It's not going to be boring. It's really going to be amazing. Stick around. You're going to love this. So as Kim said, we started off as professional actors. I moved out here in the early 90s from Texas, from Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
And
We're very old.
Yes, extremely old.
So
I think in my late 60s now. And so she moved out years later, but started doing a lot of commercials. I did over 100 national commercials and TV and film stuff, and then really wanted to have more control over what I was doing. So Kim and I met in a sketch comedy theater called the Acme Comedy Theater.
Okay.
Where we wrote and performed original comedy sketches.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then we got married.
Oh, you guys are married.
We married each other.
Oh, okay, got
Yeah,
it.
we did. Yeah,
did
we
do
totally
that.
married each other.
I actually know that you're married. That was fake. That was fake surprise.
It was good.
Good.
I believe
Thank
it.
you.
An Oscar-worthy surprise.
Yeah.
So you guys met during Acme Theater, and
Yeah.
then you were performing live together, and then you got married.
Yeah.
And
What-
then,
Yeah.
bleh.
Bleh.
We should have decided who was going to answer what.
From
first.
now on, you answer everything.
Okay.
I'll just
All right,
sit
you
here.
just sit here and look
All right.
Okay. So we got married, and then this actually should be the part you talk about, because this is the part I'll talk about all your stuff, and you talk about all of my stuff. So Greg wanted to learn how to edit and direct, because he had actually done, in the early 90s, he had a public access sketch comedy show, and he was using video and editing on all their big machines that they could use. And so, with the advent of Max and Final Cut, he thought, you know what, I want to do this again. So we started adapting sketches that we had done on the stage for him to film, and he did.
Excellent.
Yes.
So, and is that right about the time when you formed Mediocre Films?
Mediocre Films is the name that I used for the very first sketch that I shot, which was actually in 2004. Shot a thing called The Date. That was my first short film. And
It was actually a short film, not a sketch, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of the early stuff that I shot was short film style, which means we shot it on video, but I submitted it to film festivals, and it actually did quite well. The Date got into a lot of festivals, and we went to Hawaii to support it over at the Maui Film Festival, and kind of fell in love with Hawaii at that time. It's the first time we were there together, but that's how we started with the digital video stuff. It started off with sketches, a lot of things that we had written for the Acme Comedy Theater became these short film style things.
Okay, that's excellent.
But I had to pick a name, so I just thought, well, I'll go with Mediocre Films. That way I'm setting the bar low. And if they're funny, then people will be pleasantly surprised. It's true.
You don't want to set the bar too high. Exactly.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
And then people are just going to be in for disappointment.
Give yourself room for growth.
Exactly,
Definitely. Yeah. Well, to date, Mediocre Films has uploaded 255 videos to its YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's just on the main channel. Like altogether on all my channels, about 1,000 videos.
That is phenomenal. That really is phenomenal. And of course, one of your biggest successes early on was Gorgeous Chinese Chicken Machine Show.
Or Gorgeous Tiny Chicken Machine Show.
Gorgeous.
As Gorgeous Tiny Chicken
Gorgeous
Machine
Tiny.
Show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
As people like to say when they say the correct name of the show.
Thank you. Gorgeous Tiny Chinese.
No,
No,
no Chinese.
Gorgeous Tiny Chicken Machine Show.
There you go. That's
Thank
it.
you.
Yes.
All right, all my prejudice is coming up here early on in the show. So
She's not even Chinese.
I know she's
I
not.
know.
Where did the idea for that show come from?
That was also, it was a sketch that, we wrote for Acme Comedy Theater, and I begged Greg to please shoot it for me because I'd sort of seen how YouTube worked, and at the time, way back in the day, you went to the YouTube front page and there was just a list of videos that they had curated and that they said, you might like this video, and just as it is today, the thumbnails were tiny, and it was basically the title and then several lines of explaining what it was, and I thought, oh, this will be great because I knew it would be vibrant colors, and so I knew that the thumbnail would be really interesting to watch and interesting to see, and then the title, Gorgeous Tiny Chicken Machine Show, was weird, so I just thought together, if YouTube actually put it on their front page, like it would be a winning combination, and lo, it was.
No, it was. So
And behold.
even back then that thumbnails were important.
It was instinctive.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I mean, it just made sense to
It
me
was
because
instinctivated.
Got
it was
it.
instinctable. Yeah, because even back then, you're just looking at a list of thumbnails, and so I just figure, if there's one that's bright and it is fun and colorful,
People would click on it,
Yeah.
definitely. Well, going back into the archives a little bit deeper, we can't talk about some of your earlier works from Mediocre Films without talking about Retarded Policeman. And, I actually was at an event where the Retarded Policeman was screening, I think it was back in 2008. And I remember you actually asking, I was standing in the back, you were asking people if they found it kind of offensive or what their thoughts were for it. So I just, wanted to, ask you what inspired you to create that show, and what conversation did you want to explore with the show?
It's actually a lot simpler than you would think. We didn't really want to explore any sort of conversation. Listen, the sole purpose of me making videos is to have fun and create things that I think are funny. And Kim and I were driving around one day, and it's as simple as this. We would always throw sketch ideas back and forth and video ideas. And Kim actually said while we were driving around, what if we had a sketch about a retarded policeman? And I said, well, that's not only a sketch, but that's the name of the sketch. And then we threw back and forth like, Kim said, he could pull people over and go, hi, and I like monkeys, or whatever. And we threw back and forth some dialogue, and before you know it, there's sort of like 3 videos here. I think we could do 3 videos out of this. And then I said, we actually know an actor who is mentally challenged. He has Down syndrome. I wonder if he would play this part.
Got it.
And Kim said, no, that's going too far.
Yeah.
Do not do that. And I said, I think it's going too far to have someone who isn't, retarded to play the role. And so I reached out to Scott Perry, the brother of Josh Perry, and said, do you think your brother would want to do this? And he said, absolutely. And he asked him, and he said, yes. Let's do it. So
Wow.
I wrote the scripts, and we shot the first 3 in a day, and they blew up so quickly that we realized, I guess we have to make more of these.
Absolutely. Well, good for you. And have there been any? I'm sure you get everything on Facebook, but I mean, is there? But overall, what is the tone been of the comments on the YouTube comment chain?
Everybody loves it. No one has ever said anything negative.
Really? Great answer. Great. Well, speaking of the YouTube comment stream, let's go check out the live streams. Katie, are any hot burning questions out there?
Yes, I actually have quite a few, but most importantly, Gavin wants to know if any of your sketches and or pranks have gone very wrong.
Okay, Gavin wants to know, have any of your sketches or pranks gone very wrong?
You know, the sketches don't really go wrong, except when you have technical issues. Like we shot one thing in a restaurant. What was the thing that we shot?
Happy Sad Waitress?
Happy Sad Waitress. We shot a thing there and we were just plagued with technical issues. And so that video just sort of languished for about 9 months in post-production before we were able to fix all the technical issues and release it. But as far as when things go wrong, that really comes down to when we're doing pranks and people don't really appreciate being pranked, which has happened a couple of times. I did get hit in the throat one time by someone who didn't like when I pulled a little prank called the ham shoulder prank.
It turns out people do not like it when you put ham on them.
No, and that was the whole joke. I would just go up to people and go, "Hey, how you doing?" and ask them a question, but then when I remove my hand, there would be like a little piece of ham right there, just a piece of ham, which was inspired by a terrible movie, Caddyshack 2. Chevy Chase did that in a scene in Caddyshack 2. He says, "Oh, don't sell yourself short," or whatever he says. And then,
Got it.
Yeah.
We're going to take one more question from the live chat, Katie.
All right.
What else is happening out there?
I have a question from Fez. He actually wants to know, what were your dream jobs when you guys were really young? Because he says he wanted to be a tree when he was 2 years old. So if you guys have anything like that.
That is so crazy, because I wanted to be an orange flower. I did. That's what I wanted to be. So
you can't
tree,
make money
flower.
at that though. It's
Well, I think if you got a job at a florist and they needed you to dress up as an orange flower and hand out some flyers or something, or just wave to the traffic.
oh yeah, I suppose you could. Yeah, you should look into that.
I'm going to.
All right.
Excellent.
I had my dream jobs. My dream jobs were to work at record stores and movie theaters so that I could get discounted records and free movies and popcorn, and that's exactly what I did when I was 16, 17. Actually, I was working at a record store when I was 15. And they were record stores back then. They're not your compact disc machine stores.
That's so weird, because my dream was to work at a Dairy Queen, and then I did.
And you were robbed at knife point.
Also a dream of mine.
Okay, great.
It's true.
Great,
She was robbed
great.
at knife point. That's a true story.
Well, moving on. Moving on to the digital native questions. We can't talk about online video without talking about the Guild. Where did that line up for you in your journey, Kim?
Well, after Gorgeous Tiny Chicken Machine Show, we were shooting that, and I was friends with Felicia Day, and she had a script that was amazing called The Guild that was about online gamers, and it was a half-hour television pilot, and she'd shown it to people in the industry, and people said, "This is amazing, it's way too niche, like we can't put this on TV, what's this online gamer thing, who knows about this, blah, blah, blah." And so I read it and I said naively, like, "Oh, we can totally do this, like let's just do this. We do Gorgeous Tiny Chicken Machine Show in my back office, we could just do this in your house." And that's...
Did you ever think it would blow up to be as big as it became?
No, there's no way that I would have known, like, the trajectory that it took, but I mean, it definitely, like, there was never a doubt in my mind that a lot of people would be interested in it if they were able to find it, because Felicia's great, she's a great actress, she's a talented writer, and at the time, even though people weren't as familiar with online gaming, there were still 10 million people playing World of Warcraft at the time, so, and they didn't have a series dedicated to, to people who played online games, so.
Got it. Well, thank you so much for joining us for Digital Natives Content Creations Frontline. And that is how Greg and Kim came to become digital natives. Next up, Community Building 101. All right, well, let's take a closer look at Community Building 101. We are joined today here by Kim Evie and Mr. Greg Benson of Mediocre Films and formerly of Geek and Sundry. Welcome, Greg and Kim.
Are Are we pretending like we?
No. We actually do different segments on the show, so now we're now in a different segment. I probably should have told you that before we started, right? Okay, good. Well, I'm so glad to have you here, Greg and Kim. So, Greg, you currently have over 900,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel and on Mediocre Films. So that's very impressive. How did you get to those 900,000 subscribers?
I created 900,000 profiles and subscribed just one at a time. I would just do that. It takes years, but that's how I did it.
Okay, good. Well, and you actually joined online video in 2006, right?
I did. I've been on YouTube since '06, and I guess I've just been really lucky. You know, thanks to Kim, we had a lot of early successes on YouTube. We got on the front page a couple times in a row, and with that came our first couple million views and our first 10, 20,000 subscribers. And then we introduced certain series that just built up the subscriber base, and now I kind of focus on pranks, and those have turned out to be really popular. And so whenever I have another hit video like this recent Facebook video I know we're going to talk about, it's, you know, the subscriber number just jumps.
It jumps.
So hopefully right around the end of the year or beginning of next year, I'll hit 1 million.
Excellent, excellent. If there's one piece of advice you would give to a new YouTube creator coming to the space for the first time, what advice would you give them in terms of strategy for building community?
Don't do it. Do not do it. It's a tough game. You have to love what you do. You have to absolutely love making videos and having fun doing it to make the whole thing worth it. Because once you start with a YouTube channel and you get some viewership and people are subscribed and they're waiting for your next video, you can't really go more than a week or so without putting up another video. Some people put up 2 or 3 videos a week. I put up 1 video a week on my main channel, but there is that regularity that you have to keep up. Plus I have other channels as well that I put videos up on, and it's definitely a full-time job. And you kind of have to balance your real life responsibilities with, you know, what people expect of you on YouTube to keep the videos flowing.
Well, speaking of popularity, one of your biggest popular characters right now is Yashmin Blacken. How did he become so popular, and is he boosting your numbers on a regular basis?
No, he does not boost my numbers. The Yashmin videos are sometimes some of my lowest viewed videos, but I love doing that character so much that I don't care, and I'm going to keep doing them every once in a while because it's just too much fun. He's just this old, insane, cantankerous man. Yeah, and he's just so much fun to play that I absolutely love playing around with him. He's had some videos that have done very well, but yeah, overall, I just do him just because I love him so much.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, I want to ask a few more questions of you, Kim. I want to talk about Geek and Sundry. That has been a huge part of your career.
Absolutely.
And you know, how did that evolve from going from the Guild into Geek and Sundry?
Well, Felicia was one of the people that YouTube approached when they were looking to, you know, do the original channels, and so I went in with her. We had to come up with a slate of shows that we would do if we were, you know, going to be given the opportunity to do them and be funded by YouTube. And so we went in with, I don't know, a lot, like maybe 11 series or something like that. And then, you know, once we found out that we were going to be one of the channels, I think we culled it down to maybe 11, I mean, to maybe like 5 or 6 that we started with. So, but yeah, so it was just sort of.
Was there a specific strategy that you guys were creating when you were pitching YouTube, and you know, when you got the funding over all the shows that you were, you know, that you were pitching them? Was there a strategy you had in mind that it had to be in a certain vertical, or?
You know, it's interesting. At the time, it was, I think, I'm trying to remember now exactly what shows that we had pitched, but I think it was more like, you know, there was a project that Felicia wanted to do, and there was a project that I really wanted to do, and then there were people that we knew that we wanted to work with, and, you know, there was definitely the geek vertical that was happening. You know, we ended up doing Sword and Laser with Veronica Belmont and Tom Merritt, and, you know, that was a book club online, and
So all of them were very specifically in the geek culture.
Yeah, I mean, we called the channel, or, you know, Felicia chose Geek and Sundry so that there would be a little bit of play, so that there could be other stuff, and you know, so like I did a show called Written by a Kid, which is kind of like drunk history, if you've ever seen that, where drunk people tell history. This is little kids make up stories, and then professional directors take the stories and make them into real shorts. So that wasn't particularly geeky, but so that was more sundry.
But it is awesome, and that is a series that everyone needs to search out and watch.
It's quite good.
Yeah, it's excellent.
It's definitely one of my favorite things that I've ever worked on.
Well, another main thing that content creators can do when building community is look at SEO, search engine optimization. And one of the best things that content creators can do in building search engine optimization is titling their videos very wisely and smartly. So, of course, we can't talk about SEO, Kim, without talking about one of your most popular videos, Two Hot Girls in a Shower. It's so smart. And speaking of thumbnails, look at these thumbnails here. So fun. I mean, you really knew how to pick a good thumbnail there. So was there, I mean, I can't think of a greater title. I mean, obviously there was a kitschiness to your show. There was never any nudity that you actually showed, but the title, Two Hot Girls in a Shower, probably got you a lot of viewers that you probably wouldn't have otherwise have gotten.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that was literally just a little fun thing that my friend Julie and I did. We had done a video, for Acme together. It was just like a tiny bit of this bigger video, and people said, "Oh, you guys were so funny doing that." And so I said to her one day, what would you think? And this again was early YouTube, so I knew, that what was happening on YouTube was, well, the same thing that's happening today, frankly, like boobs, hot girls, sex. It always sells. So I thought.
And kittens.
And kittens, yeah. So I just thought, I said, if we did this and we called it Two Hot Girls in the Shower, just to see, and I said, literally just to see how many hits we could get. Do you want to do it? And she said yes. So, but I'm actually, strangely proud of it because it's, for as enticing and, ridiculous as the title is, the content is fun and funny, and we had a good time doing it.
And how many views do you have to a date on those videos?
I don't even know. Millions.
Yeah, you do have millions, right?
A lot.
Yeah.
It's a very funny show. A lot of people may not realize it's a comedic question and answer show. And the relationship that Kim and Julie have is very much like a Burns and Allen type of thing, like the George Burns and Gracie Allen thing.
Yes, it's very much, yes. I'm sarcastic and mean to her, and she's dumb and very, very funny.
Gotcha. Well, speaking of millions of viewers, let's go back to the live stream on YouTube. Katie, how's it going out there?
It's going great. I actually have a two-part question for you guys. First of all, Arca wants to know if there's any YouTubers that you guys want to work with that do sketches or pranks with. And also, I'm being flooded with requests for Greg, for you to do the Yasmin impression, and if Kim could do one as well.
That's pretty great. I'm not dressed as Yeshman, but if you cut over to Brian, you might hear Yeshman. He might be here in the studio, maybe a little bit. He's over here. You want to try him?
Okay. Do you have to cut?
No, I mean with you, it doesn't matter.
I'm old.
That's his catchphrase. Yeshman, I'm old. Yeah. It's gonna appear in his tombstone.
Okay, that was lovely. That was lovely. Yes.
And as far as YouTubers that we want to collaborate with, well, I do a lot of collaborations with different YouTubers, and I've collaborated with just about everybody. But I've never done a prank with Prank versus Prank. I've only done one with Vitaly, who's now exploded. As a guy who's just not physically, he hasn't physically exploded. That would be horrible. But his channel has exploded in popularity recently, and we did a prank that just didn't quite work out a while back. A thing with him and Jack Vale and Rahat of Magic of Rahat, another guy who I haven't done a full prank with. So there are a few guys who I'd love to go and do some silly pranks with. That would be a lot of fun.
And I love Hank and John Green, so I hope to help them produce something someday. And I love the Gregory brothers and Rhett and Link. Actually, Rhett and Link, I already got a chance to work with them. They did one of the Written by a Kid, so yeah. But there's a ton of people that I would love to work with them.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, getting back to the Guild, Kim, we're talking about community building in this segment. How did the community build around the Guild initially?
Felicia Day, honestly, and that's the key. I think people. The show itself became sort of a phenomenon, but from the beginning, it was Felicia, going to websites, going to forums and saying, and making things very personal. And not only that, but going back and following up. So, from the very beginning, and, obviously things have changed a lot nowadays. You can't go to a forum and say, hi, I have a web series that I made and I hope you like it, because everybody's doing that. But back then, people were like, oh, cool, let me check this out. And then if somebody would leave a comment saying, hey, that was great, then, later on, there'd be a comment from Felicia saying, hey, thank you. So
I really love what you said about the follow-up, and I think that's key in terms of anybody who is a marketer. And if you are creating original online content, chances are, if you're producing it yourself, you're also marketing it yourself. And the follow-up is super key. So, I mean, I really love that you said follow-up. You have to knock more than once, don't you?
Well, yeah, absolutely, because it's not real. I mean, getting out of the marketing space and into, just Felicia as a person, because she never thinks of herself, she doesn't think of herself as a brand or a commodity necessarily. She's just a person who's interacting with her fans. And so, again, it becomes, the follow-up is just really part of, having a dialogue with your community and really making them feel like they are a part of your community and you in turn are, a part of their community, and that you're going to talk with them and interact, and it's not just, like, hey, I'm on this thing, hey, look at me, hey, one of the reasons that Felicia is super successful is that she's a great tastemaker, and she's constantly putting up links of things that she finds interesting and funny, and so people who follow her on various social media know that not only are they going to get to talk to her, they're also going to, find out about cool things because of her. So.
Got it. Excellent. Well, Greg, back to you. Speaking of, other huge videos and huge successes, you recently had a major success on your Mediocre Films YouTube channel called Real Life Facebook.
I can't believe it took you half an hour to get. That's how we met. It's amazing. That's how we met. This is a good story.
That is how I think the guy who was at the very front of your video was just amazing. He was really charming.
Well, that's you. You're talking about.
Oh,
you're
I'm talking about myself.
There,
oh, I am talking about myself.
Yeah.
My goodness, that is how we met. And it is funny. It's a small web video world, isn't it? So one of the questions I have for you, Greg, is how did you get that video to get to 1.9+ million views in a little over 2 weeks?
Same way I did the subscribers, I watched it 1.9 million times, which takes a lot of time because I had to watch it in full each time for it to really count. So I'm just taking a break from that right now. I don't know. It just, how videos just spread. When they say a video goes viral, it literally spreads around like a virus. One person sends it out to more people, and then it just keeps spreading around.
But there were some specific news outlets that picked you up, right? That picked this video up specifically, right?
Absolutely. I believe MSM and CNN and a couple different places had, I think that Huffington Post, or some other places featured it.
So once a video gets embedded on like a larger news site, then it really has a greater opportunity to actually go viral.
Yeah, that's one of the main things. You try to get your video out everywhere possible when you put out a video that you've put a lot of work into and you think has the capacity to possibly go viral. So I submit it to everywhere.
So once you launch it, do you just send an email? Do you have a certain list of the people that you regularly hit up and you say, hey, this is live, check it out?
I have a big list. Some I send emails out to, some I submit directly on their websites, but I do spend a lot of time promoting videos that I think have a chance. I mean, I don't promote all of my videos, but the ones that I really think have a fighting chance, I send them out.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, it was a pleasure to meet you on that video, Greg.
That was fun.
Say it was. I actually did. That is actually how I met Greg. I did not know him before that video. I knew of him, but had never met him in real life. So it's a real kick to have him now back on Digital Natives, where we're talking about our recent experience in that lovely video that's going viral as we speak.
I never asked you this, but what did you think when I just showed up to your house and wanted to be let in with a camera crew?
Well, I really. I was expecting our mutual friend Lon to show up, so I was expecting someone, and I actually did know what you looked like, so it was easier for me. I knew what you looked like, so I was like, oh, I know who this guy is. Oh goodness, what am I in store for? That's kind of was like, what's coming? Here it comes. So,
yeah, we had fun.
Got it.
I learned all sorts of information about Brian from his Facebook page, and then just spewed it back to him in conversation. Asked him about friends from high school and questions about where he grew up, and asked him to show me his favorite scarf that he just bought in New York, and all these things that I learned from his Facebook page. That was fun.
It was very fun. It was very fun. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show again. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how community building happens in the digital space. Next up, digital profiles. Welcome to Digital Profiles. We are back with Greg Benson and Kim Evie. You may note that they are married, and they are one of the most successful YouTube couples ever to grace the digital space. I like to refer to them as the Albert Brooks and Anne Bancroft of the YouTube generation. So first up, I'm going to have a few questions for them. About
that would be from the time when Anne Bancroft had divorced Mel Brooks and married Albert Brooks?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Sorry,
Yeah.
Albert Brooks. Thank you.
Albert. I like to refer to us as the Albert Brooks and Mrs. Brooks of the digital space.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we're talking social media here. So what is the first social media profile that both of you joined?
MySpace.
MySpace.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Excellent.
back in 2005.
Excellent.
Yeah, probably.
And do both of you still have a MySpace account today?
I just canceled mine
Okay.
like maybe a month ago because I hadn't used it in several years. So I thought maybe I should not have this here anymore.
Okay.
My MySpace profile was my most active profile. I have I haven't touched it in years, but it's still sitting there. If anybody wants to look up mediocre films on MySpace, it's there.
Got it. And how do you guys engage in social media? Are there any particular practices that both of you use to engage with your community?
Well, Greg, Joe. So here's the thing: we're married.
Yeah, to each other.
To each other. So I hear all of his jokes and all of his, constantly. And then Twitter came around, and I went, "Oh, this is a perfect opportunity for you to tell other people your jokes."
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I use Twitter mostly just to tweet out really, really stupid stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and I really enjoy it. I enjoy just putting out dumb jokes into the world. Whatever I think of, I just kind of put it out there for however many people want to read it.
If you could only choose one social media platform to engage in moving forward, what would it be and why?
MySpace. No, no one would say that. I'd go with Facebook because it's the easiest way to interact with friends and fans, and it's the easiest way to see what everybody's up to. Facebook's a great time waster, so I kind of enjoy whenever I have a few minutes.
Got it.
On the toilet or wherever to just kind of thumb through, see what my friends are up to.
And what are your guys' favorite? Oh, and actually, so I'm sorry, Kim. Do you want to answer that question too?
No, actually, I'm bad at social media. I need to have more of a social media presence, and sort of practice what I preach.
Okay,
So.
got it. What is one favorite online video show other than your own that is your favorite?
I only watch my own. I have not ever seen another video.
Okay.
Do you want to answer that first? It'll give me a minute to think of something.
Well, it's weird because I don't watch as many as I should either, probably. But the first one that came to my mind was Squaresville. So, because
Matt Enlow was actually on the show. He was our first guest on Digital Natives. So it's really he will love that you said that.
he's a good guy.
Yeah.
So
And it's a very good show.
It's a very good show.
It's an excellent
yeah.
show.
They're very, very talented.
I did not pay Kim to say
Very
that.
engaging.
Matt, just so you know, I did not pay Kim to say that.
I'd probably pick my favorite series as the goat yelling like a man series. There's a lot of videos of just goats yelling like men, and that's really one of my favorite things to watch.
Not really a series.
Seriously. No, I consider it a series.
Okay.
It started with a video just called Goat Yelling Like a Man, but then now there's a bunch of them.
Got it.
It's pretty amazing. I also watch beer and board games. That's one of my favorite shows. That's by my friends at Blame Society Films. They drink a lot of beer and they play board games.
Okay.
Just like the title would suggest.
Cool. I'll have to check those out after the show is over, for sure. Absolutely. Well, Greg, I'm now going to ask you a series of rapid-fire questions for your digital profile. Are you ready?
Just me, not Kim?
Well, I'm going to get to Kim afterwards. I'm just asking you, Greg.
Why
I
are you
have
looking over
different
there?
ones?
Why, you're not looking at me. You're looking over at the camera.
I'm looking right at the camera.
That's
I'm going to
weird.
ask you a series of rapid-fire questions. Are you
Okay.
ready, Greg, for your digital profile?
Okay.
Okay. Cat videos or baby videos?
Babies.
Twitter or Facebook?
Facebook. Twitter.
Instagram or Pinterest?
Neither.
Okay. Tumblr or WordPress?
Tumblr.
What is your favorite hashtag?
One. I don't know.
Okay, great.
I don't have one.
Okay. What is your least favorite hashtag?
Oh, R.I.P. Suzanne Summers.
Okay.
Because why would you use that? She's not even dead.
I know. That's right. That is a good one not to be your least favorite. What is the worst social media? What is your worst social media pet peeve?
When people do bad things. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that.
Okay. What is your favorite viral video of all time?
Of mine or of anyone's?
Anyone's.
Anyone? It is a butter message to the USA.
It is a butter message to the USA.
A butter message to the USA is what it's called.
Okay, great.
If you haven't seen it, oh, you should see it. It's pretty
great.
wonderful.
Okay, I'll check it out, definitely. Yeah. In your opinion, who is the next big internet star?
The guy who stars in a butter message. It's pretty amazing. If he could harness that power from that video, then it would be pretty amazing.
What is the
How would you feel if I came to your house and I ate all of your butter in front of your face and I threw it down the stairway? Watch the video to find out.
Okay, I will. What is the one thing that people would never know about you even after Googling you on the internet?
I've had a hip replacement.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's
if
true.
there is one profession that you could choose other than being an internet celebrity, what would it be and why?
Don't look at me.
I would be a feature film director.
Excellent, excellent. All right, Kim, we are now going to ask a series of rapid-fire questions for your digital profile.
Wait, are these the same?
Are you ready? Yes, they are the same.
Oh, I shouldn't have listened. Okay.
Okay, Kim, I'm now going to ask you a series of rapid-fire questions for your digital profile. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Cat videos or baby videos?
Baby videos.
Twitter or Facebook?
Facebook.
Instagram or Pinterest?
Pinterest.
Tumblr or WordPress?
No. Tumblr.
Okay. What is your favorite hashtag?
Hashtag I am stupid.
What is your least favorite hashtag?
Hashtag I am stupid.
What is your worst social media pet peeve?
People being mean for no reason.
Got it. And what is your favorite viral video of all time?
Oh boy, that is of all time. I don't know. We just watched Denver the Guilty Dog yesterday.
It's really great.
That's pretty great.
In your opinion, who is the next big internet star?
Brian Rada.
Thank you very much. It's very sweet of you. You're invited back anytime you want. What is the one thing that people would never know about you even after Googling you on the internet?
Oh, I have really small feet.
Got it. If there was one profession you had to choose other than being a digital native, what would it be and why?
I would be a clinical psychologist because I like crazy people.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you so much, Greg and Kim, for being here today. It has been a joy and pleasure to interview both of you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks, Brian.
Definitely. Before we go, we'd like to let everybody know where they can find our late, lovely, and amazing chat host, Miss Katie Stegeman. Where can people find you, Katie?
You guys can find me at my Twitter handle at Katie Stegman.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Katie. That is all the time we have for Digital Natives Content Creations Frontline. Until soon, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you in a digital universe near you. Cheers.